Hello, hello. Welcome to the Heart of Flames live show, our September pick for the channel. And I know you're expecting Lana, but she's having internet problems. So I don't know if she's gonna come on. I don't know. So I'm flying solo here. I'm just waiting to see if people are going to show up. Because that would be awkward, me doing this live show with no one here. You know? You know. So, yeah. Anyway, um, let me tell you what the first book was about, because obviously I can't tell you the second book because it'll be spoilers. So, the first book, Crown of Feathers, is about this girl, Veronica, who wants to be a phoenix rider. And to do that, she needs to find a phoenix egg. So she and her sister Val go to find a phoenix egg. And mind you, they live in a world where being a phoenix rider or an animage, which is a type of magic that you can use to communicate with animals, is illegal. So they're trying to find phoenix eggs, like on the down low, so they don't get caught. And they manage to find a phoenix egg, and it hatches for Veronica. And with this phoenix, she goes in search of other phoenix riders to become and train to be a phoenix rider. And the, I guess, the main trope in the first book is, sorry, just putting this up. The main trope for Crown of Feathers is disguising as a boy, like gender identity. I don't know what you call it, but she dresses up as a boy basically, and that was a very very fun concept. And in Heart of Flames, basically, whatever happened in Crown of Feathers, which obviously I won't tell you because it's not spoilers. What happened at the end of Crown of Feathers brought up a lot of questions, and in Heart of Flames, I feel like those questions were answered, but they were answered more towards the last half of the book. It was a very slow beginning, in my opinion. Let me know what your ratings were for Heart of Flames and also Crown of Feathers if you've only read the first book. Let me know what were your ratings. I just finished Heart of Flames maybe like 5 hours ago, and I'm giving this 4 stars. I like the first book better than the second book. I think people on my Discord I have already heard me say I thought it was boring the first half because there was a lot of repetition of what happened in the first book. Like, I know it's helpful for people who haven't read the first book, but I feel like there was too much repetition in the first half. At least like maybe 100 pages. There's a lot of repetition as to what happened in the last book, but also it's not just mentioned once. It's kind of like this happened in the last book, and then the same exact thing that they said 50 pages later, they'll say it again. So it's just kind of very repetitive for the first half. But then the second half, things started moving along. For me, I'm a character-based reader. So I love reading about, if I love characters, I will read about them no matter what they're doing. But in this book, I'm not like this whole series so far. I don't love the characters. I'm more invested in the plot instead of the characters, which is shocking if anyone knows me. Shocking. So I wasn't a fan of this book as much as the first big book because of that, because the first half is very slow and you just kind of follow the characters throughout the first half. And it was very boring. I'm not gonna lie. The first part was very boring, and the second half was so much better, which is majority of why I gave it 4 stars. The plot was moving along. We're getting answers to questions, And I felt like the battle scenes were so beautifully written because of the phoenixes and their fire and just so many metaphors that can be used for that. It was so beautifully written at the last half, as you can see with all the tabs, for the battle scenes. And this was a mixed bag. I might, I don't know. The last half was really good. That's why I'm giving it 4 stars. But if it wasn't as good, I would definitely probably give it like a 3 or 3.5, which I see. Hello, people. Thank you for showing up. Hello. Hey, Anita. Thank you for being here. Hello, Noshni. Hi. Okay, so Anita's giving it 3.5. Like, like I said, if the last half wasn't as good as it was, I would definitely be giving it 3.5. Thanks, Anita. But like the last half, it's so good. Like the battle scenes and like the way it was written, so good. Melanie, hi. Are you agreeing with me that the first half was a bit boring? Because, yeah. And you ended up with a 3.5 as well. Yeah, I'm like, because I only finished it like 5 hours ago, it's still fresh in my head. I think it's going to be 4 stars, to be honest, because that first half was just not it. Not it at all. So yeah, that's essentially the second book. It's following what happens after Crown of Feathers, and the end of Crown of Feathers is very much a cliffhanger in terms of uh um of like, oh, how do I do this without spoiling anything? Oh, we find out about something about someone, and it kind of ends there, and it's kind of explosive. So coming into this, it was good to see how that mystery played out in here. And also after that mystery, after finding out about that mystery, we see the characters in here discovering that mystery as well. It's just so vague, but it was just cool to see the reactions of all the characters when they discover it. And there's actually a new perspective in here that I was not expecting, which is Elliot, and he was in the first book. And I wasn't expecting his perspective, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. I like his interactions with Sparrow, and Sparrow is one of my favorite characters in here. Sev, Cade, and Sparrow are my favorite, and then the Phoenixes, obviously. So I did not expect his perspective to be in here, but I really, really love his relationship with Sparrow. It's very endearing. But there's not a lot of his perspectives in here. Probably like 5 chapters throughout this whole thick ass book. So it's not much. But he's in here. I don't know if he's going to be in the third book or not. And the ending of this book, I am hyped. Like the tension has been building since the start of this book, and it's at its climax at the end. And I feel like we're going to have an explosive ending, which I'm really hoping, because normally with YA books, like I don't want to categorize them into one thing, but like normally with YA books, like the first book is very, like it's very fast paced, and there's a lot of things happening, and there's a lot of world building. And then the second one is so much slower. That's usually how it happens. And then there's an explosive ending at the second book. And then the third book is where all the things start to unfold and all the things start to happen. But what makes or break that ending is how it's executed. So I'm hoping the last book is executed well, because there's so much potential for it being so epic. Like that cliffhanger, Melanie. Like that cliffhanger is kind of like, oh my God, this shit is about to go down. So I'm really hoping that it was executed well. Yep, it really was. It's just because there was more things happening. Like finally more things were happening. The things that I was waiting for to happen was actually starting to happen, instead of just faffing about in the beginning, A lot of telling in this book in the first half, most of it in Veronica's perspective. She goes on and on about her musings. Yeah. There's another thing though, with the second book that I really noticed, because obviously in the second book I just said we dive into like character relationships more in the first half of this book. I found a lot of inconsistencies, to be honest. Like, Sev has said that, he's grew up on the streets, blah, blah, blah. He knows how to do dangerous stuff. But then, like, the stuff that he is doing, he says he doesn't want to do, but he has to. And then halfway he changes and says, like, no, I don't want to be this. I want to be this. And then later he's like, no, I don't want to be this. I'm going to do this because I want to. You know what I mean? It's very like vague and non-spoilery, but people, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. There's so much inconsistencies, but what I really, really like was Veronica's arc at the end. That was the Veronica I was looking for. That was the person I was looking for. So I'm excited to see, hopefully, in the last book, she stays that way instead of going back to her old self. Yes, they were shorter in these ones. There was something that happened with Kate and Sev, and there was a cliffhanger, if you know what I mean. If anyone was in the Discord, you saw me freaking out. But like, I freaked out, and then I had to wait like 3 or 4 chapters before their chapter comes up. I'm like, what is this about? What is this? Ugh. Yeah, that's so true. She at least you gotta give her that. Nika Papardo does really good cliffhangers. She doesn't do well with plot twists because you can see it coming from a mile away, at least for me. But she does like cliffhangers and endings well. She also does the world building and like weaving through like the letters and stuff throughout. And then obviously you find out, but it's been staring at you in the face. We're like, oh, it's been in these, you know? And I love the little paragraph things at the top, like in Mistborn. Oh, where is it? These things. I love these things. They're so cool. They're so cool. I love them. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, you can obviously struggle because everyone struggles with trying to find out who he is. But like in such a short span, too, because all that takes place in like the second half of the book. If you know, we'll get to that in spoilers, but like the second half of the book where they're doing this like crucial thing, he goes from like here to here to here to here with his feelings. It's like very fast instead of gradually doing it throughout the book, if you know what I mean. Yes, yes, I was shook, very shook. It was not a good time. I had to wait 5 chapters for them to tell me what's happening, but I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay, I think I'll go into spoiler talk now because that's all I can really say about the second book without spoiling anything. Um, I'll just say for the people before anyone leaves for the non-spoiler chat, like I would say this is pretty good YA series in terms of world building and world history. It is so unique, and I definitely recommend this if you're very much into like plot, world building, and world history, and you don't mind so much about like the characters. They're cool. They're not like to die for. They're cool. But I would highly recommend you guys read this just for the world history, world building, and the phoenixes because they're so cool. So yeah. Okay. Without further ado, let's go to the spoiler chats. There we go. Anyone who hasn't read this book or actually just wants to listen to the spoiler, go for it, And that's fair. I'm invested. Okay, we're in the spoiler chat, right? Okay. So I'm invested in 7K's love story. Like fully invested. I love them. I love their love story. Fully invested. Oh my god. If you see all the pink tabs, they're all 7K's love story. They're so cute. Especially Cade. Like his sassiness. I love that. His sassiness is so great. Okay, wait, let's talk about Sev's like identity crisis, right? So when they're going, yeah, so when their hometown gets invaded and they're there, he kind of go like, yeah, I don't want to be a spy. I don't want to be a spy. I don't want to be that. I'm not about that life. Fine. And then later he's like, I'm going to be a spy because I have to. And then obviously he goes and rescues the animages and stuff like that. And then when he gets to that place where they keep all the animages and Veronica and her sister comes in and stuff like that. Um like I'm pretty sure he changes back again. He's like, I don't want to be a spy. I'm not about that life. And then the whole thing when Veronica is like kidnapped and taken to the tower, and he's like, I'm not a spy. I'm a hero. That's like all cool, right? But if it was done like such short timeline, then I'm like, this is like really fast changing of character motive. I'm not about that. Probably it's just me being nitpicky, to be honest, but that's just how I feel. But their story, I legit teared up. Like, I promise. It's so freaking cute. So cute. I think I got that. Hold on. Where is my tab? Oh no, that's the kissing scene. That was a good scene. That was such a good scene. That is not there. Where is it? There it is. It's those 2 words. I love it. I cannot. If one of them dies, I swear to God. I swear to God. I will not stand for this. If this happens, I will not stand for this. I mean, Veronica and Tristan's love story, it's okay. I prefer Seven Cades. So much cuter. But like, I am more invested in Zafira and Rex love story because they're bonded. I'm pretty sure they're heading in that direction at least. They're bonded, Zafira and Rex. I love their relationship. I want to see more of that. It's so cute. But I'm not like bothered with Veronica and Tristan. I I like Veronica towards the end when um like when she got kahunas and started standing up to Veronica. I love sorry, Val, not Veronica. I loved that Veronica. Like finally she's embracing herself and her powers. Finally. After no reason whatsoever for not doing it. I know she was worried about Tristan's safety, but it was obvious that he would be fine if she embraced her powers. Actually, it would be better because of her control. Like, I love Veronica now after standing up to Val. Also, I despise Val. Despise, absolutely despise Val, no matter what anyone says. I feel like this is another Dara situation. If anyone was here and read the Devabad trilogy with us, I have a love-hate relationship with Dara. I still do. And Dara, at least I have some love for Dara. For Val, straight up hate. Hate her. I can't stand her. Can't stand her whatsoever. And like with her character motivation, right? I feel like this is all just hot takes for me. For Val, see, Val is such a complex, good, negative character. She's not even good, zero. Also, I feel, okay, look, for me, Val's motivation is very surface level. Like, all she wants is the throne, right? And that's it. There's no complexity to it. All she wants is just the throne. Her feelings about Feronia and Veronica is very complicated. For sure. Can't deny that. But her motivation to get the throne is purely surface level ambition. And that's it. We haven't found out how she was driven to that, or like was she born like that, or like what happened to her for her to be this ambitious and this brutal, for her to be like that, because she was like that before she was resurrected, right? Super ambitious. She was willing to do whatever it took to get her throne. And I feel like she says like, I want it, and that's it. It's my right, and that's it. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm coming in with the hot takes. I might be wrong, obviously, but this is just me observing, obviously. He is a good boyfriend. He's a very sweet boy. And everyone needs a sweet boy in their life. Like Veronica's a sweet girl, and she needs a sweet boy for that. So Tristan is a good boyfriend. That's fair. Like, that's fair. Totally fair. For me, like, character motivations is what I live for in books. I love seeing like behind their minds, like what makes them them, and like what are their motivations to do things. Like I love looking for that. So I'm more observant with that. So it's all good. Yes. Oh yeah, we covered that. I also thought there was a chance Val was going to die when her phoenix basically exploded. I was like, no way, Nikki, what's going to happen next? I wanted her to die. I really did. But I was like, if she dies, then it's not really going to be a war. So I didn't think she was going to die. But what I didn't expect is that Shadow Phoenix. What the fuck it's called? Strix? Is that what it's called? I don't know if it's just me, but I don't think it's ever explained what a Strix is. Am I right? It's just, I remember them saying it's just a creature of Noxus, like the god of darkness. That's just like the creature. I don't think they explained what a Strix is. But then obviously at the end, it appeared before Val. And I think that was fucking cool. I admired her for 1 second because, yeah, because see, I'm just going to read it out because it's cool. I just thought this was a cool line. Like, Valkyria turned toward the feeling, staring into an inky abyss of the smoking pit. The abyss looked back at her. Rising slowly out of the darkness was a feathered creature, a bird, its plumage so black it seemed to absorb that light surrounded it. The feathers were iridescent, fading to the color of ash and smoke at the tips. The shadows clung to its wings, and the way fire sometimes clung to phoenix feathers. But this was no phoenix. This was no creature of the living world. This is a Strix. It's so freaking cool. And she's like, Valkyria found a bondmate at last. She had found a reckoning, her ruin. That was such a cool line. I swear to God. It was such a great description of the word. And yes, like the cover of the 3rd book, they're so beautiful. I looked at it, I was like, what is this creature? And now we know. But it's also like kind of a spoiler, right? Like, why would you put that on the 3rd book? But it looks so beautiful. But this is my favorite cover out of the 3. Look at Veronica. Look at that badass bitch. Look at her face. Look at Zafira. Oh, shit. Look at Zafira. They're thriving. I love this cover. This is one of my favorite covers. She just exudes power. Love that. Yeah, we didn't get that backstory behind the motivation. Exactly. I feel like if we did have that backstory, it would make more sense as to kind of like more of why she wanted this throne, because she's so persistent. But it's really hard to believe the persistency just because she's owed it. You know what I mean? It's just weird. Yeah. It's kind of repetitive too. Like their issues keep coming back again and again, but just in different ways. Yeah, me too. I love her little like paragraph at the top because that was Feronia, which I figured it out way later than I should have. And I loved seeing her passages. It was so good. And also the letters between Alexia and her brother. Forgot his name. Is it Theron? Theron? Not sure what his name is. Hang on. I think it's Theron. I'm not sure what his name is. But I like that letters between them, and I didn't connect the dots until later. I can't remember the exact scene, but I wrote it down in here somewhere that I said that, oh, maybe it's her brother that is Veronica's dad. So, Theron. There you go. Theron. Thanks. Yeah. Mel agrees. Want more Feronium. Because she sounds like a badass bitch, too. I mean, that's where Veronica gets it from. Yeah. She's so sassy. Her and Rex are so good together. I loved it. Same. It took me a while, Anita. Like, it took me a while too. So it's not only you, to be honest. What was I gonna say? I really liked Commander Cassian's relationship with Tristan as well. I liked that they weren't fighting as much anymore, at least like the after like the 200-page mark, where they settled things between them, and Tristan finally had the balls to stand up to Cassian and told him to tell him what's going on, and Cassian did. So it's so weird calling him Cassian. I keep thinking of Sarah J. Maas Cassian, which is not the same person. But anyway, I like their relationship after they started talking to each other and trusting each other. It was a really beautiful relationship. And I really hope Cassian doesn't die, because I want that relationship to grow. And I don't know, it was really good to see it blossoming. It's good. I figured out in the first letter that they are siblings. Yeah, I figured that out too, but I didn't like connect the dots that Theron might be Veronica's dad until later. Yeah, same. He is. Like I think they in the book they mentioned it a couple of times, where Cassian is like very methodical and like he stays away from the fight, but really he's just like taking small steps towards a fight, but just very sensibly and safely. Yeah, that's a good one. And also like heartbreaking to see when Tristan gets taken from by Roland, and it must have been hard for Cassian to be like, I need you to sweeten up the deal instead of, just give me my son. I need more. Must have been really hard. I mean, he has to like struggle between being a father but also trying to save Pyra. Is that it? Pyria? Pyra. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so bad at names sometimes. Pyra. Like, he had to struggle between saving Pyra and saving his own son. So it must have been really hard for him. I can't imagine. But he's sticking to that, being a sensible politician or a sensible person. My heart goes out to him. We're going to lose at least one. I know. As long as it's not one of the Phoenixes, Sev, Cade, or Sparrow. Speaking of Sparrow, I feel like she's going to bond with Ignix. Like, because Ignix is Sparrow is the only person Ignix is letting her to talk to her, like in her mind. I feel like they're going to bond, which is very fitting, to be honest. Very fitting. And I think I called it in the last live show that the old bird was Ignix, because she was lost since her first rider died. So I predicted that it was Ignix. So right. Yeah. I feel like Ignix is going to be bonded with Sparrow. I feel like that's going to happen. I don't think it'll be Sev, to be honest. Yeah, that is a good leadership. Maybe she'll like sacrifice herself to kind of save everyone, and Sparrow as well. Like, because she's seen a lot. She's been through war and everything. She's been through multiple ones. So maybe she will be like, you know what? It's time for me to go. I'ma go. Maybe that's what's going to happen. I want that to happen from book 1. Sparrow. Yeah, me too. I wanted Sparrow to be Phoenix Rider. I thought she was going to start training and everything, but obviously they didn't have Phoenixes then, and also she's blind. But it's so fitting that she gets Ignix, who is like a really old Phoenix. So she deserves everything. Everything. That's okay. It's okay. You're not dumb. You're not dumb. As long as you enjoyed the story, who cares, right? I thought Val would figure out it was Ignix. It was surprising that she did. I know. Like, there's a lot of things Val could have figured out in the beginning, but obviously, because to prolong the length of the book, she did not. She did not discover that her shadow magic could be, normal if she just embrace it and learn to control it, like she did with her Phoenix bond. And she even said at the end where she's like, the Phoenix bond, it took a while to get used to the bond. And obviously there was like she heard Zephyr's thoughts a lot during the beginning. It was very overwhelming, and then she learned to control it and everything, and it worked. Why wouldn't it be the same for her shadow magic? Even what's her face, the old woman who has the shadow magic, she said that it takes years, or it takes time to control it, and once you control it, it'll be easier. And she said that, shadow magic and animal magic are two different things, but they're not so different from each other that it would be hard to control, if you know what I mean. So, was Val not bonded to her? No, she was bonded to her OG Phoenix, but she was like, I know there was a lot of discussion about like bonded versus bind, and where bonded, Veronica thinks it's like to do with love and loyalty, whereas bonded is to do with love, and Val says that for bind, all you need is respect and loyalty and like sheer power, which is what she had. So I think her OG Phoenix, she did bond with that Phoenix, because that Phoenix the Phoenix died and she used that death to come back to life. So I think she was bonded with her Phoenix, but the Phoenix that she has in this book is just a bind. Yeah, let's explain that. Yeah, exactly. But like, so if Veronia didn't have magic and her father was just a soldier, I don't think he was a Phoenix Rider. So how did Veronica get powers? Or maybe it's just kind of like it skipped a generation and she got her powers. And I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there will be more explanations. Maybe they won't be. I don't know. I just hope 7K's relationship blossoms. I hope they're okay. I hope they come together later. And the whole like Tristan's kind of, can't wait to see Theron. Curious to see what he's been doing all these years. That's so true. I don't know. I mean, that'd be good if you get Veronia chapters. That would be good. Also, it'd be good to have flashbacks instead of like, that one flash that we got in here when they're in the mine cave thing, and Veronica flashed back to Veronia telling Val to stop the war. It's not too late. So that was the one. I feel like that was the one flashback that we got. So I'm hoping we get more flashback chapters in the third book so we can understand Val's motivation more. And also maybe see Feronia and Theron's romance, maybe. I feel like that'd be cool. Then, yeah, could be. I don't know what perspectives we're getting in the third book. I feel like the third book's longer than the second book. I'm pretty sure the third book is longer than the second book. Like each book gets progressively longer. So maybe we'll get more perspectives. Because I know we have Val, Veronica, Tristan, Elliot, Sev, and like one K chapter. One K chapter. Hopefully we have more K chapters in the next book, to be honest. It would be nice to have more of K chapters. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say. Why do you think Val hates Alexia? I think that... No, because she doesn't hate Alexia. I think she mentions that she doesn't... I think she mentions after that she doesn't really know the girl. I think she mentioned she didn't really know the girl. I'm pretty sure she did. Like, in the... When she saw Alexia at the end, I'm pretty sure she says she doesn't know the girl that much. I don't think she hates her. I might be wrong. But from what I remember. Does she know her brother is Feronia's boyfriend? Yeah, because at the end she says that she knew Theron is having an affair with Feronia. So that's when he told that's when Alexia told Veronica that Theron is her father. So that's how we find out, basically. But they don't know where he is. They have to find him, see what he's doing this whole time. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, Roland. How shit is he? Ugh. He's so shit. Like, he thinks that he's all powerful and all that, but really he's just a scaredy cat that doesn't really know anything. Yeah. Does Val know? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think she says anything about it. Roland is creepy. He really is. Roland is very creepy. He reminds me of someone that I can't quite remember right now. I can't quite remember. Oh, I mean, he does remind me of that. I don't know if you guys have read Throne of Glass, the first book, but there's one guy in there, not the actual guy. Oh, there's actually a character in Throne of Glass named Roland, but that's not who I'm talking about. It's one of the governor people person. He's really creepy and he preys on younger girls. So that's who Roland reminds me of. Yeah, maybe. It's a good possibility. I think Val just wants to kill Veronica at this point because she sees her as a threat. She finally realizes that Veronica is a threat because she's like her sister, Feronia. And because she knew how Feronia turned out, and now she's realizing that Veronica is turning out exactly like her sister. She doesn't want to make the same mistake by not killing her sister earlier, so she wants to kill Veronica now. At least that's what I see that what's happening. That's what's going to happen. But I'm just so excited for the Strix, to be honest. It sounds like a beautiful creature, and I want to see what its powers are. Like, do they breathe fire? Do they combust in flames? Or do they just be in shadow? I'm so excited to see the third book. And I'm only going to read the third book at the end of October because I like to do it closer to the live show, so I have a better memory. If not, we'll be sitting here, me trying to figure out. I mean, like, I don't even remember half of these names, and I have finished it 5 hours ago. How do you think my memory is going to be if I started now? You know? Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. I'm not sure what else. I don't think I have anything else. Let me know if you have any other thoughts that you want to bring up, any points you want to bring up, because I don't think I have anything else. I've mentioned everything that I wanted to say about it, like the character motivations, how much I love Seven Cade's relationship, the Phoenixes, Cassian and Tristan's relationship. Also, Tristan's patrol people. They were so I think his name's Latham. He's such a dick. He's such a dick. He hates Veronica for some reason, and I thought it's because maybe Latham had a crush on Tristan and he was jealous that Veronica and Tristan are like somewhat together. I thought that was the reason, but I don't know. I don't think that was the reason. Yeah. Thanks, Melanie, for coming by. Thank you, Anita, as well, for coming. He does suck. He really does. He did. He's a butt. He is. He's a butt. I wasn't a big fan of him. All right, guys. I do apologize. I know Lana wanted to be here. Her internet is not working. I know she really wanted to be here, so I hope she will be here in the next live show. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Also, so the next live show will be, I believe, I'll just mention it to you now. Hold on. The next live show will be on the 6th of November, same time, same place for Wings of Shadow. We'll meet here. And also, I will be announcing the next series picked for November and December in the Discord. I will also try and make like a YouTube video for announcing that as well. Also, if you guys have time, go to the Discord and tell me what other series you guys want to read, because obviously we're starting fresh in January and I want to know what series you guys want to read together. So let me know in the Discord. And yeah, I think that's all I needed to say. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate you. It was very nerve-wracking being alone for a live show, so thank you. I appreciate you. Ooh, no problem. All good. I will still make an announcement in the Discord as well. Everything. Do not worry. I am really trying to announce dates ahead of time. So I'm going to do that from now on. So no worries. So 6th of November, Wings of Shadow, same time, same place. Okay. Thank you guys again, and I will see you later. Bye.